Hey guys, it's been a rough week. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about weight loss and my current journey to get healthy, and this week was not great. I had like 3 days where I didn't track calories and I didn't meal prep, and that's where I really messed up. I did not meal prep lunch and I didn't go get food at Walmart or anything. I didn't do hardly anything. Actually, scratch that. Scratch that. I did buy some popcorn chicken and I went to microwave it last week and it says like raw chicken, do not microwave. So I didn't make it and I still have not made it. Thankfully, the people I live with, they ended up taking pity on me and they made some of it. But it's really spicy, so I can only eat like so much of it at a time because I am weak. I have zero tolerance for spicy. And it says black pepper. I don't understand why that's too spicy for my palate, but apparently it is. And so I made really bad choices this week. I went to the dollar store. Actually, let me tell you what happened. I think it was Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. I had a 10 o'clock, an 11:15, a 12:30, a 1:45, a 3 o'clock, and a 4:15, and a 5:30. Right? I think that's right. Let me say that one more time so I make sure that I had it all right. Okay, I had a 10 o'clock, 11:15, 12:30, a 1:45, a 3 o'clock, a 4:15, and a 5:30. Yeah, I think I added an extra one on the first one. And I only get 15 minutes in between each of these sessions, right? And I didn't have any food. I bought food. I had bought food for that day. And then I left it at home. So I didn't have any food. And I only had 15 minutes in between sessions. So thankfully the dollar store is like right there. But I could go in and get out. Like I had 2 minutes to like find something to eat. And so I made the decision to buy some Pop Tarts, and I've eaten almost the whole box this week. Because I didn't have any of my bananas. I didn't have any apples. I didn't have any tuna. I thought I had tuna, but I didn't have any tuna. And I didn't have any food. And so I didn't have snacks. All I had was my protein shakes. And this is what happens when you don't prepare ahead of time and you don't have good snacks and you don't have food to eat. It's a lot easier to make bad choices. And so the bad choices just kept spiraling. I ate out 3 times this week. I had 2 treats this week, and not one of those was coffee though. Not one was coffee. But I had a milkshake, which didn't need, and I had what else was it? I had part of like a brownie dessert thingy. Done really well on my coffee this week. I've taken it from the house to the office 3 times this week, and it was like a cold brew. I am using the 2% milk, so it's a little bit higher in calorie. But I've got the fat free on my shopping list. I went to the dollar store to get the milk, and all they had was the 2%. So I just went ahead with that instead of doing the whole milk. Barely gotten my steps in this week. I mean, it's not been like terrible. I've gotten over 6,000 every day this week, and I've hit 10,000, over 10,000 3 days this week, and then I got close another day. So I didn't do like terrible on my steps, but it's been really hard to go to the gym this week and to get all my steps in because of, well, one, the schedule that I had. And then on top of that, I had a resident doctor with me Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the residents have to be at the office with us like all day. And that means that I have to get to the office early and I have to stay like the whole time that I'm like supposed to be there. Because like for me, if I don't have anyone scheduled until 11, then I can go to the gym and then go to work. But like he has to be at the office earlier than that, and so couldn't really go to the gym this week. I mean, I could have gone up like super early, but I'm not going to do that. And then I work late every day. And so I could go after, but it's that time is like prime time. So I did end up going Thursday morning and I did a full body workout and I'm gotten some steps in, but it's just hard to be like, hey, let me leave you in my office for 20 minutes while I go walk. Because I'm supposed to be educating them and sharing with them about what we do with work and what our process is and all of that and debriefing about clients and stuff. And it was just really hard this week. And I had easy excuses and I let them be excuses. And because of that, my weight, it showed. It absolutely showed. Not as much as it probably should have showed, but it showed. I started the week off at 211.8 and then I went up to 212.2. At some point I got down to 210. No, it was a 211.2, I think. And so I almost got under and then I went right back up. And so this morning when I weighed in, I was sitting at 212.2, which means that I went up this week about 0.4, which honestly is not bad, especially considering this week. But it definitely has the potential to spiral if I don't get myself together. And so that's my plan for the next week. I definitely have a lot more freedom in my schedule next week. So I'm going to be able to go to the gym and get some runs in. The biggest thing for me, though, is that I'm going to have to get some food for this week. It's non-negotiable. If I want to make progress, then I'm going to have food. That's it. And I'm going to have to set alarms. I had to set an alarm this morning to get my food to take with me to work. Because if I don't have an alarm and it's ringing at me as I'm walking out the door, I will not remember to take food. So what I had been doing was taking it and leaving it at work. That's usually what I've been doing because it's easy to just leave it in the fridge. And no one touches it and it's fine. As long as you're courteous and you're not taking up the entire fridge yourself, But so I'm just going to have to get myself back together again and it's fine. 1 week is not going to define everything. 1 week does not have to be this giant setback where I basically have to start over. Just got to get back on track. And that starts tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. And I'm not eating fast food tomorrow. I do have a wedding I'm going to, but that's not going to be fast food type stuff. So that'll be fine. Let's see what else. I know I'm gonna be home, so I'm gonna eat here. We do have cookies in the house, so I need to forget that they're there. Other than that, the coffees have been real easy, so I think that'll be easy enough going into next week. I think I finally figured out a way to make the coffee that I can actually drink it. When I was doing it the previous way, I wasn't really drinking all of it, which is fine. But I hate making it and then not drinking it. But this new way that I've got it, where I do the cold brew concentrate in a bottle, and I just pour that with ice and then pour some milk. And I've been pouring some caramel in it, but I don't know that I taste the caramel. I mostly just taste the milk. So I don't know. Definitely not a great at home coffee maker, but I guess I'll figure it out. But yeah, so that's what happens when you don't meal prep and you don't plan ahead before the start of the week. You give yourself good opportunities to make choices, and now we just get to deal with the consequences of that. But this is very real. I'm not just gonna sit here and tell you that I had the greatest week ever and my weight went down again for the fourth week in a row, fifth week in a row. No, that's not real. And I think that's dishonest. It is dishonest. So definitely not going to do that, but I am just going to get back on track next week. And I hope to. I've been watching so many videos on trail runners and ultra runners, and I love that so much. It's so inspiring to me because I used to run in 2020. I used to run 2, 4, and 6 miles. Love to run. And I would like to get back to that. And so I really love watching these long distance runners. And I don't know if you know what a via ferrata is, but it's basically where you're hiking up a mountain, but it's not like a trail. You're clipped in to the side of this mountain and you're just clipping. and you have these like small pegs to like step on, and it's like terrifying. And so I've been watching a lot of those, and because those have been popping up on my reels, I've been also watching a lot of like rock climbing and things like that. And I'm just like, that'd be so much fun. But like, I don't know that the shape that I'm in that I would be okay. You know? And I mean, I don't want to get up there and then like my body be the reason why I plummet to my death. You know? Now I am being dramatic. You're clipped in. You're safe. But definitely don't want to chance it. And I definitely couldn't do some of these hikes that I've been watching people do because they're climbing over mountains and ledges like tiny, like wild. And so I think that those would be really cool to do, but I have to make sure that my physical fitness is good enough so that I don't like put myself at risk, you know? And so right now that's kind of the goal. And so I'll let you know about next week. What setbacks have you guys experienced? How'd you overcome them? What successes have you had this week? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.